All right, Bruchim Abayim, welcome everyone. It's Thursday night, and we like to learn from the Heilige Reb Levi Yitzchak and Sarasosha and Medichim Schus Yigalain and Chus Lamein. We learn the Heilige Sefer Kedushas Levi. It says, "B'posik v'varchem b'yomahu leimor yisimcha Elokim ke'Ephraim lechem Yosem es Ephraim lefnei Menashe." This is Genesis chapter 48. Verse 20, and the verse says, "And he blessed them on that day, saying, May God make you like Ephraim and like Menashe." And he placed Ephraim before Menashe, even though Menashe was older than Ephraim. Kodim navoi levoyer. So, first of all, we have to explain like this: Maimer Chazal, what our sages taught, but Maseches Megillah. It's a Gemara Megillah Tesvav Amud Aleph. That would be 15a. Ray, come and see that the attributes of God, of the divine, are not like the attributes of flesh and blood human beings. A human being first warms up the pot and then puts the water in. I don't do that. I mean, but I guess that's what they used to do, especially if they had to start the fire and everything. It's not just turning a switch like we do now. Excuse me. Midas Kadosh Baruch Hu. But the divine attributes are as follows: Nois and Mayim v'achar shefes es a gedera. That the first put in the water and afterwards heat up the pot. The kfar parashnu b'posuk kol machla asher samtim mitzrayim le'yasim alecha k'ni Hashem roifecha. We've already explained the verse in Exodus 15 verse 26. All of the illness which I have placed on Egypt I will not place upon thee, for I am the Lord thy healer, thy physician. We know the statement of our sages. Another Gemara Megillah a little earlier, Yud Gimel Amud Beis, just before that, 13b. Shem Yisparach Makdim Refulah Makah, that God always has a healing sent before He sends a plague. Kind of like He says, it's similar to what the world, they say, God doesn't close the door without opening a window, but it's more than that, because it's that the actual healing comes before the plague. And the intent is as follows: but the whole point of the suffering, of the trouble, is in order to experience the salvation that comes afterwards. I mean, the whole reason why there was slavery in Egypt was for the sake of the Exodus, etc., etc. And really, the whole reason for all of the suffering that we have now in Golus is for the coming of Mashiach. It's the purpose. V'zeu kol hamachla, lashon pa'ula. This one means all of the illness. This is a verb, even though it would seem like a noun. It's being presented here in the verb sense. Meaning, what's the purpose? Why is there illness? Asher samti b'mitzrayim, that I set in Egypt. Lo yasim alecha, I'm not going to set it on you. Ki atzlacha kavanas ki ani Hashem roifecha. Because the intention for the Jews is because I'm the Lord thy healer. Rak b'shvil harafua v'yeshua. The whole purpose of the suffering, meaning Jews also get sick, but the Egyptians get sick for the purpose of their punishment. The Jews get sick for the purpose of getting healed. This is for the purpose of the healing, for the purpose of the salvation, sha'achar kach, that comes subsequently. V'zeu b'tzoras ish Yisrael chas v'shalom v'chasodim kodim. That's also what it means, that when a Jew suffers, God forbid, the kindnesses come first. Ki kavanase b'atzara ala chasadim, because the purpose of the suffering is because of the kindness. Shemikodim rak al yedei achoili, ha'adam nasa kli lekabel hashefa. That because of the illness, then a person becomes a vessel to receive the blessing from God. Kederech b'nei adam. Ksheroitzim lasis mikli katan kli gadol. Because what do human beings do when they want to make a smaller utensil bigger? What do? Tzricha shvira. You have to break it first. Kein Hashem yisborach. That's the way that the blessed Lord, that's the way God handles it too. May be blessed. God wants to give the blessings to human being. And it needs to be in his possibilities to be even greater. So then God sends trouble or illness, God forbid. This is what breaks, this is like breaking the utensil. The small utensil. That it afterwards should be even bigger. That's why the illness is called a pot. So that's what it means when our sages say as follows. The person first heats up the pot, the human being first heats up the pot and then puts the water in it. But the divine God, he first puts in the water. Because water represents kindness. And so that's what it means that God puts the water in first. And subsequently, then afterwards he heats up the pot. That through his intentions of kindness, he fixes the pot. Hainu, it means the person who comes from trouble. So that through this it becomes a bigger utensil, a bigger vessel. That through this he's able to receive the blessings. And his intentions, everything's for good. It's easy to understand. Like for example, I'm passing by here, this place where I hit the cow 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago now. Still driving the same car, Baruch Hashem. And so every time I say Baruch Shasli Neis B'Malkam Hazeh, I'm growing a little bit because of that tzara. But also, I'll tell you something else. People know I work in prison ministry. I'm a chaplain in the state prison. And I myself, I spent a night in the county jail once. When I was a Rav down in Richmond, Virginia, spent the night in jail in Stafford County, Virginia, for speeding. Because if you speed over 80 in Virginia, it's a misdemeanor. I was going a little bit more than 80, but I remember I got pulled over, and the officer gave me a ticket, and I thought I'd just pay the ticket, and they said, no, you have to go for a hearing and a trial. Went for the hearing, everyone was pleading guilty. So I went for the trial, I pled guilty. I didn't know they talked to the Commonwealth attorney first, so they locked me up for the night. And that experience helped me to have compassion in my prison chaplaincy work. So that's the concept that we're talking about here, that our problems just make us bigger. And that's a gift from God, really. We shouldn't have to know from it. We should be able to grow without it. But when it happens, we have to know there's a purpose in it. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Mitzvah Hashem, we'll see you later. All right, how do I turn this thing off? This one?